Our introduction to the Photoshop workspace. So Photoshop is one of those software programs that's insanely complicated. You can do a million things with it. So for our class, we're going to try and keep this simple. We're going to try and make it something that just kind of accomplishes some of the tasks that we need to accomplish. And so remember, there are those deep lists of tutorials you're supposed to be going through online that have a lot more stuff in it than what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to give you the basics to get you going, and then you can kind of continue to explore and learn on your own after that. So basically, when you open up Photoshop in either a PC or a Apple machine, you're going to have a workspace that looks something like this. And there's all kinds of ways you can adjust it. Over here, there are all these workspaces that you can click on to reset it, and you can save your very own. So you can actually save a workspace that you like if you like the way the palettes and panels are set up. But the main things to know is there are three primary things that happen in Photoshop that or places in Photoshop where stuff is stashed. The first one, which is the most easy to figure out, is the toolbar, right? So each one of these things on here is a specific tool, and so if you just kind of hold your mouse over it and let it sit there, you'll see that it brings up this little yellow kind of square that tells you what the tool is, and then the thing in parentheses is the keyboard shortcut. So if you want to know, oh, well, how do I get to the brush tool, well, you can just do that, and then if you just push B on your keyboard, it'll bring up to the brush tool. So that's kind of a nice thing to know. So there's a toolbar. There's also what I call the palettes over here, which is kind of like an old school way of thinking about having like all your palettes that you would mix your colors on and stuff like that over here. And so this is where things like layers, which is really important to our class, channels, which is something we'll use a little bit, different brushes, your history is here. So if you screw something up, you can go back to the history icon and go back in time and kind of undo steps that you've taken. So I have mine set up kind of in a custom way. Yours will probably look different, but you can move them around. If you want to change the layout, you can do that and it'll change it. You can, if you move it over here, you'll see it turns kind of blue, and that'll kind of attach it to the wall. If you want to move this down here, you can do that, or you can move it up here and kind of like just drop it in one thing after the next. And so what'll happen is you'll have these so if I moved all of these over, that would really probably simplify my layout quite a bit. And you can expand or contract them by just clicking on this button, and when you do that, one of them will open for you. So so it kind of keeps things clean. If there's ever, like over here under the tools, if you ever see a little tiny triangle in the right hand corner, you can click and hold on that, and that means there are more tools hidden underneath that one. So under the crop tool here, there's also perspective crop and slice and all of these things. So if you ever see that, you can just click and hold, and it'll bring up the other tools that are there. So you have your tools, you have your palettes, and the last thing is you have your menus up here. And the menus are probably like the deepest and maybe the most important part of the interface, because if you're ever lost and you can't figure out where something is, you can almost always find it in the menu. So let's say you do something foolish, like you take your actions and you accidentally delete it off of this thing, and you're like, where did they go? You can go up here to Window, and if you just click, you'll see, oh, there's actions. I can click on that. It'll bring it back, and you can just take it and reattach it back to where it was. So if things get screwy, you don't know where it is, the window is great. View changes the view that you're looking at, so you can change your color space, you can change your screen mode. If you can't find something, you can look for it there. There are all these different things. The preferences for Photoshop are underneath this, so that's a spot to go to find the preferences if you want to change the background color or anything like that. And then the other one that we use a ton is this one that's called File, which is where like Save As is and all those kinds of things. And also we'll use Edit quite a bit, like for transforming and stuff like that. So this is the menus, the tools, and the palettes. Those are the main workspace things that you want to think about when you're playing around with Photoshop. So now we'll start actually using the tools.